Hi friends, it's Sarah, the owner and maker behind Multifarious Nature. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you are a new viewer, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, a big welcome back. I'm glad you guys are here for another episode. We have a nice sunny day today, so hopefully you'll be able to see everything really well and it will be really good. I do have very little, but I do have a little acquisitions to share at the very end if you want to stick around for that. Just before the life update, we'll talk about the acquisitions. And yeah, we'll get into it. I worked on a lot of different projects this week, which is excellent. Got some good variety in. Of course, I primarily worked on the test knit that I need to do, but I did get a little bit of other things in as well. So I'll show you the test knit first. This is by Taylor E. Owen. So if you're one of my fellow test knitters that are knitting this, you can see where I'm at. I'm at a part of the pattern where I just have to kind of reread it a little bit just to get some clarification as to what I'm doing. But let's see if I can do this and not take my needles off. So I'm using my hand-dyed yarn, Multifarious Nature's yarn in the colorway Ember. So I have separated for the sleeves now. There we go. Kind of get a good view of it. So I've separated for the sleeves. So now I have my little sleeve here. These really nice raglan increases. There we go, increases. I should probably tell you what the pattern is. The pattern is not available yet. It's a test knit. It's the Waverly, Better Waverly cardigan. And again, it's by Taylor E. Owen. So this is my Ember colorway, which is a really nice tonal black that has some brown undertones. It's very warm. It's a warm black. I'm holding it double. This is on my fingering weight Peruvian Highland wool. So it's giving a really nice, I did get gauge, and it's a nice fabric. It's really warm and squishy. The air will not flow through this easily. I knit another cardigan by Taylor E. Owen. Her Kingston cardigan, I did a similar style. It was another non-superwash fingering weight that I held double, and I loved that thickness. It's really, really warm, and it works so nicely to keep you cozy. So here we are so far. I've literally just kind of like about maybe an inch and a quarter or so under the sleeves now. And so I am just trucking along on it. I am very much enjoying it. It's a lot of fun. I actually need to go through my button stash. So I have a lot of fun vintage buttons, some that are more modern vintage, some that are older vintage. I feel like I want them to be cohesive. I want them to all be the same type of button, but I do have a lot of fun vintage ones. So we'll just see what I find, and if I want to mix it up or not, we'll see how that goes. But at the moment, we don't have buttons. And I have buttons, I just have to figure them out. But I don't want to buy buttons for this. I have so many buttons, so I'm going to go through my stash of buttons. I'm pretty sure I showed my stash of buttons in a prior video. Not in detail, but I have a lot of them. Yeah, it's really nice. It's top down, then I believe you add like the collar and the button band. I'm really enjoying it. I'm excited because I think when I get to the sleeves, it's going to be pretty smooth sailing. I don't think she has really any like decreases or anything in the sleeves. I don't want to give too much away, but I think the sleeves are going to like be really fast, which is amazing. I love when I can just do stockinette and I don't have to keep track of my count. However, if I do have to keep track of my count, I use this. So I have these currently in the shop. They're just different designs sometimes. I think I still have another red one in the shop, but they're called analog row counters. If you don't know what this is, I'll give you guys a brief overview. Basically, use it like a stitch marker. You just put it, and I should say you can use it like a stitch marker and actually use it as a stitch marker. I don't like to do that. I prefer to just have it in mid-row somewhere. Near the beginning of row. And what I do is, like, if this is, so row 1 goes in the first one, and then when you get to your second row, you go through the second, and it goes all the way up to 10, And then you take your little progress keeper, basically, for lack of a term, that's what it is, with a lobster clasp, and you move that up to the tens place. And then that makes this 11, 12, 13. And then as you move that progress keeper down, you can actually count up to 100 rows. So it's super, super handy. I use this often. I use this for repeats. I use this to count my rows, of course. It's just super, super, super handy. So yeah, great tool. And I do have them in the shop if you are looking for an analog row counter. Just saying. All right. So yes, I used that quite a bit in this pattern, actually. So definitely enjoying that and having fun. I look forward to checking out the other folks that are working on it. I really appreciate you guys commenting, and I'm definitely going to check out your projects to see the progress. I am more than happy to go over to Ravelry to look at the projects because I have no problem doing that. That's where I'm posting my updates as well. I'm really bad about it. I actually need to, this weekend, that reminds me, I want to take photos of my progress and add it to my Ravelry project, because currently I just have a pile of yarn as my photo, and that's just not accurate anymore. All right, so that is where we're at so far with that project. The next project that I worked on the most, I'd say, after that one, is my hand spun project for Andrea Mowry's Weekender. So this is the Weekender, and let's see here. I gotta be careful I don't pull my needles out because that will happen very easily at the moment because I'm mid-row naturally. But here we go. So I have made some serious progress. I hesitate to, I guess I could. I hesitate to turn this right side out, but we're gonna do it because it's knit inside out. Sounds weird, but that's how it is. So I finished the front, and the sleeve stitches or shoulder stitches are on hold right now. And then, so there's your front. Let me see if I can do this. I'm really trying not, I want to make sure I don't drop my stitches. So this is kind of tricky. But, so this is a Gotland lamb fleece. So it's a beautiful oatmeal color. When you look closely, it actually has some tonality to it. Completely random. I just spun it very randomly. Super soft. And this is my second hand spun fleece. Yeah, I was questioning that, but yeah, my second hand spun fleece that I processed. This was my second hand spun roving, which is the alpaca. I think it's pretty much all alpaca in there. I think it just dyed. Super, super soft. And for those of you, if I haven't responded to your comments yet, I will. I promise. I'm so sorry. But I know one of you commented that you work pretty much exclusively with alpaca, and oh my gosh, you're so lucky. It's so soft. I love alpaca. I'm very grateful that I can wear alpaca and it does not bother me. I know some people are sensitive to it. So it's really beautiful colors together. I think that's brown and greens in here with this oatmeal. So this is going to be like the collar area, and then it'll be the shoulder, and then down the arm there'll be a little bit of, this is like the shoulder. I think this goes here, and then I think on the sleeves, I'm not quite sure how the sleeves work yet. We'll figure that out momentarily, but I have not figured out exactly how the sleeves work yet, but either this goes here or it's slightly down my shoulder. I think it goes here. But I'm going to use this basically on the like ribbing portion of the top. And if there's the ribbing on the sleeves, I will also probably do it in this colorway. I'm pretty sure I have enough, because you guys, this is all I have left. Well, this is, I actually have a teeny tiny bit from the body. This is all I have left to do all the sleeves. I'm pretty sure it'll be enough. What I think I'm going to do is weigh this and this together, figure out that weight, and then I'm going to divide that in half, and then I'll divide this up. So that way I will know exactly how much I want to use, like all of it if I can, and I'll know exactly then how much I can do on each sleeve, so one sleeve won't be shorter than the other, and that'll just make my life so much easier. So that's what I'm going to do for that. And yeah, I'm really excited about it. It's just whipped up so fast. It's knit with primarily size 9 needles, and I'm doing size 2. And then the ribbing is done in a size 7 needle, or no, size 8. Size down, basically, whatever you need to get gauge. So I'm almost done. I have a little bit further to go on this section, but then I'll be done and I can bind off the middle portion where the neck is. It's a really interesting construction, and I can see why you really have to use circular needles in this pattern because of the way the collar is worked, I think. I'm pretty sure. Well, I guess you don't, but I don't know. I'm just saying it really makes it easy when you're working with circular needles. But there you have it. So there is where I'm at so far with the Weekender. I am cruising along. I'll stab myself with my needle there. Goodness. It's going to be a really nice oversized fit. I'm super excited. It is so stinking soft. I can tell the length is going to be really nice. Because I think, like, if I hold this up here, that really gives me the length. It's also going to grow a little bit when I block it. I think it's going to be the perfect length, and it's going to be this basically like a sweater, or sweatshirt. It's definitely a sweater, but it'll be like a sweatshirt sweater. Super comfy, cozy. I am so excited. It's going to have some weight to it. It is basically a 3-ply, for lack of better words. It's chain plied. So it's going to be toasty, but I'm excited. I'm really excited about it. If you can't tell, even though it's warm. So I'm wearing short sleeve. It is a sweater, but it is a 50% cotton, 50% merino sweater. And I think it's O-Wool is the brand. Pretty sure it's O-Wool. And it is so stinking comfy. I cannot remember the pattern. It's in a past video, way back. It's back a ways. But I love this sweater so much. I haven't worn it. This is my first time wearing it, I think, this year so far. But it's really comfortable. This lace work really lets the air flow nicely. And because it's a cotton blend, it's very comfortable to wear, even if it's warm out. Would I wear it if it was like 80 degrees in the sun? Probably not. But if you're going to be going in and out of air conditioning, I think it'd be very comfortable. Okay. So the last pattern that I worked on a little bit, my lunch breaks, which you're not going to see a lot of progress on, that's okay, is my half and half triangles wrap using all kinds of random bits. And so currently I'm still using that Bond Street Wendy yarn. You can see it's got like this really neat boucle. It is a wool blend, and it's so beautiful. It reminds me of the water in Lake Michigan. Lake Michigan has very distinct bluish green water, and depending on, of course, the weather and everything, it can look brighter or darker, but it's definitely more of that bluish green color, and I really think this is gorgeous. So this really replicates the water to me, especially with the soft fluffiness that's going on. I don't know, it just makes me think of the waves down at the beach, and I'm really enjoying it. I just kind of am knitting on this on my lunch breaks, like I said, and so enjoying it. Yeah, really, really enjoying it. So I've clearly got a ways to go, but I did make some progress, and it will be a slow progress because, again, in the beginning you work from the largest amount of stitches for the half and half triangles wrap, and then it's slowly getting smaller and then the other triangle, you basically do the opposite. So I still have another whole skein of this, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I have one more skein of this boucle, so I'm going to have a nice large chunk of that, which is awesome and excellent, because I did not know what I was going to use that for, and I think it's perfect to do a blanket with, because while it looks okay with my skin tone, it doesn't do a lot for it, but as a blanket, I mean, I'll be able to use this all the time. I will. So I'm excited about that. And then I just have to figure out what color I want to do next. I don't know. The possibilities. So, you know, it's kind of like, do I want to do all my boucles on one side, or do I want to do some boucle on the other triangle? Maybe, because then I'm mixing my textures, which I kind of want to do. Because I've got this super fun one too. Ooh, look at that. Look, what a change, right? Go from the softness, and then you get this harsh. I feel like I kind of want one triangle to be more the dark colors and one to be more the lights. I feel like that would be kind of a super fun contrast. I'm going for it, guys. I really am. I want to. I do. I want to. All right. Whew, water break. What kind of projects are you guys working on right now? Please share it below in the comments. I would love to hear what you're up to. If you have any new projects or, you know, current continued works in progress. And also if you're doing any spinning. I did do a little spinning on a CVM fleece that I have. It's a beautiful gray. I did do a little bit of spinning on that. All right, sorry. I needed my water break. Okay. So I'll talk about my acquisitions. And I really wanted to talk about this because it's super fun. I'm trying really hard not to buy a lot of things because, one, I'm really trying not to buy a lot of things because I'm trying to work through my stash, so if I buy yarn, it has to be, in my opinion, to me, it has to be super amazing for me to buy it. And then the other thing is, I know that the Michigan Fiber Festival is coming up in August. And it's going to be really hard for me not to buy anything. We'll see. We'll see how I fare with that. I really don't want to buy a lot because I have a lot. And I'm not trying to brag. I'm just saying, like, it has, I have accumulated over years quite a bit of wool. And I just don't knit fast enough to make it through it. So I don't want to keep adding an insane amount. So I did buy some project bags because they were on sale. And I've been wanting this style project bag for a little while now. It's not from the designer I initially was kind of stalking for project bags. And I'm kind of glad that I went with this other designer because they're really cute. They seem to be very well made. And the price was... They're not cheap, don't get me wrong, but they are handmade, so the price is definitely there. The value is there because of the quality. So I'm going to look up the designer here for a second in my email because, you know, sometimes we don't remember things. It's Annie Morton Designs. Is this, I don't know if it's called The Little Farm and Annie Morton Designs, but Annie Morton Designs is the designer behind these project bags. So she does project bag updates. She has so many different styles. She still has some currently in stock. She does not have many of this style in stock. And they're all one of a kinds. So if she has any of this style, they're going to be different, if that makes sense. So these are the cutest things in the world. I think they are. I have an obsession with quilts. I want to make a quilt someday, but I just have not wanted to commit the time to it at the moment, but I would love to do so. And in my head, I'd love to do it all by hand, which is slightly insane because that takes a lot of time. But I have some beautiful handmade quilts that I got from my my second mom. my mother-in-law gave me two beautiful quilts from her family, and I use them. I totally use them. I have one on our guest bed, and then the other one I love to use when like I sit around. I'll sit on it like and knit. It's wonderful. So these are quilts. These are vintage quilts, and she made these hand project bags. So I'm going to show you both sides because they are different, and they're absolutely beautiful. There is a corduroy on the base, so it's very sturdy. This is the vintage quilt, and then here's the other side. Super pretty. And then there's this very delicate cotton, and it's got a little handle. It is drawstring, which I am becoming so obsessed with these open bags like this because it just makes knitting so wonderful. So all these project bags are different. This one has this super cute lining. It's a floral flannel, so it's very sturdy. And then there's 3 pockets. It's gonna be hard to show you guys this. There's 3 pockets in here. How cute is that? And then it just pulls like that. And then you've got your little satchel here. So this is the size medium. I got a medium for like socks and things of that nature, you know, something smaller, which is a nice size. This is a really nice size. This would be more for like my socks or my little projects. So I've got that one. And you just open it up, plop it down. It has a nice square bottom, so it works really nice when you have your projects pieces in there. It'll stand up. And then this one is really cool here. So this is very aged quilt. It's really cool. Like there's a lot of fading on the quilt. There we go. I'm like, get this coloring right. A lot of fading. There's actually some staining on here too. You don't really see the staining on this side, but I'll show you the other side. See, this is some staining here, which I kind of love. I know that sounds weird, but it's something that, you know, others might think it's, I don't know if they wouldn't like it, but I kind of love it. It shows it's been loved and used, and I think that's cool. There's definitely some wear. Like there's a spot right here, and then on this side, you can see there's actually like there's a separation of the quilt right there where the stitching is apart. So really cool. Yeah, and I could totally fix that if I want to, but I kind of don't because it's part of the character. Yeah, I just feel like that's part of the character of it. Anyway, so this has that corduroy bottom as well, but a different pattern. Really pretty, and again, nice and sturdy. And then this really pretty red at the top, cotton. And then the inside is another flannel, but they're mushrooms and flowers. It's so cute. And then again, 3 decent sized pockets, 2 big ones and like 1 smaller size for like tools. This would be good for like tools, and notions and such. It's so nice. And then it's got that nice square bottom. So this is a large. I got the large as well. So I got a medium and a large. And then again, another little handle. And then you just cinch it closed. They're tied. And she's got it tied 3 ways. So she's got the ends tied and a knot there. And then there's your little handle and your nice large. So this would be good for, so this is considered a large, and I guess you might be able to fit a sweater quantity of yarn in there. I feel like it'll be tight. But I could probably I feel like I could do a sweater in there. It'll be tight, but I could do a sweater, and I definitely think I can do a shawl as well. I do a lot of sweaters, so feel pretty good about that. But I thought those were so beautiful. And again, she had a really nice sale for Mother's Day, so I kind of took advantage of that sale and treated myself to 2 beautiful project bags. So those were my primary acquisitions, but I actually found another acquisition here. So technically, oh, I almost forgot about another part. So I love my local thrift store. I love all thrift stores, but one of my primary local thrift stores has some really great deals, and they actually shared that they had an abundance of yarn that was dropped off, and I got a little excited because it was coned yarn, and I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta go look. And so I went, and I behaved myself, you guys. I really did. I only got 1 cone, and that's because I kind of told myself it would have to be wool or something of that nature for me to buy it at this point. Is kind of what I said. So I looked, and I looked, and I looked, and most of it was acrylic, which is totally fine. So someone who was looking for a lot of acrylic for blankets and such probably found a major score there. But I found something that I think is a good score. I did buy it. It was a whopping $4 for this whole cone. It's big, like enormous. All right, the reason why I bought it is it said mohair on it. So it says mohair. Now, it is a brand I'm not very familiar with. I tried Googling it and kind of not getting a lot of information. So I'm probably going to figure out a better Google on it, but it does have this tag in here. And it's called Alpaca, which I'm not familiar with. It's Collins and Aikman. And honey, I think it's the colorway. It's really pretty. It's kind of a cross between a peach and a pink. Let me see if I can get this to not be blasted out so you guys can see the color. It's a little hard sometimes with this. It's always a little hard. It's close. It's a little blasted out. I'm not going to kid you guys here. I don't know if I can actually show you the color. But it's kind of a peach. It looks a little bit like a peach. It's really soft peach. And I thought it was so beautiful. And it's mohair. Now, I don't know if it's 100% mohair, because it's called Alpaca, which makes me think, does it have alpaca in it? But it says mohair washable. So I have no idea, but I was quite intrigued. And for $4 for this entire cone, I was like, I kind of have to buy it. I just kind of have to. It's a really pretty color too. I feel like this is extremely flattering. It does not wash me out. It's just very delicate, super pretty. So I love it. Absolutely love it. And I just had to pick it up. So I did buy that. I know. Coned yarn. I'm getting more yarn. I have so much. Look at this, you guys. I have a lot of coned yarn, like this back here, and then all that crazy thing there. If I turned it, woof, right there. If I turn that around, it has cones all around it. I kept that cone stand, by the way, if anyone wants one. It doesn't mean you're going to find one, but it would be worth checking. Is at during Michigan Fiber Festival, if you go to Old Mill Yarn, their warehouse sale, that's where I got that thing, and I got it for a great deal. But just saying. Okay, the other thing I found, this is a little bit more sewing oriented, but I think it's still fun. I think crafters and makers will appreciate this. So for $3, I got this massive bag of zippers. Now, I have not sewn a garment in a while. I haven't done that in a while. But these are metal zippers, which are really nice. I love metal zippers. And a couple of them are heavy. They're jacket zippers. These are jacket zippers. And there's elastic, and there's bias tape, but primarily zippers. A lot of zippers. A lot of zippers. And I just was so excited. There are some, you know, like polyester zippers in here, but there's some metal ones. And I so often when I work, which I haven't worked on them in a while, but so often when I did garment projects, I had to go buy a zipper because I never had zippers. So there's my zippers. This is my sign, I guess, to myself that I need to make more garments for myself other than just knitting garments, even though there is nothing wrong with knitting garments. But if I wanted to sew something, there you go. Now I have it. There's my sign. I guess I could make project bags with them too, if I really wanted to. But that was a great deal as well. So check your local thrift stores. You just never know what you will find. And 9 times out of 10 when I go to the thrift store I got this from, it's primarily acrylic, random bits and bobs. I do not usually get this lucky, but a whole cone of mohair, I was like, I just couldn't leave it there. And it's very soft. It's a soft mohair. So it's really very soft. I am thinking that I might like chain up a little bracelet out of it, or make like a little bracelet or something, so that way I can feel how it is on my skin. I don't think it's gonna be a problem. I just would hate to do a whole sweater and then it makes me itch. But I think it'll be fine. Make like a little cardigan, or I don't know. I feel like this would make a beautiful pullover though. There's more than enough to make a pullover too. So, really beautiful, really pretty, delicate peach. So, there you go. There's my acquisitions. I've behaved myself pretty well, I think, considering. But, yes, there we go. Hope you guys are doing well. I look forward to hearing from you. As far as life update end of things, I'm trying to think if there's really anything new that's been going on. I guess tales from the homestead. Oh my goodness. So the other day we had a massive storm. And our sheep, they probably would have gone into their little hut on their own, but I kind of felt I needed to put them away because it was a massive storm coming through, thunderstorm, lightning, thunder, whole 9 yards, and I was like, I need to put them away. So I go out there to our little field pasture. It's about an acre. I had to walk there from our house, so I'm walking it's a little distance. It's not far. I mean, I can do it in the middle of a storm to put the sheep away, and I get them in their little hut. I'm in the hut with them, and there's a little Dan built a little like seat in the corner for me. And I sit there, and they're munching away on their hay, and then I'm sitting there, and this storm is going on. It is raining. It is pouring at this point. Like, it started pouring. I'm sitting there, listening to the thunder, and seeing the lightning, and I look at the sheep, and I go, what was I thinking? This is so dangerous, because I realized now I need to get back to the house, which means I have to walk out in the middle of this. You know, they always say, like, don't walk through a field in the middle of a lightning storm or thunderstorm. That's not a good idea. And also, side note, in case you guys didn't know, at our old house, so not our current house, but our old house, which is not that far away, our house got hit by lightning. So that happened. And I was there when it happened. So I'm a little more aware of lightning these days. So it was just very uncomfortable. And the sheep were looking at me like, yeah, you were stupid. Why did you come out here? They're munching and they're just looking at me like, you're crazy. So it was all fine. I made it back to the house clearly. Hi, I'm here. But that was, not the best move probably when I think back on it. But, I wanted to put them away. I'm sure they would have gone into their hut on their own. But I still am putting them away at night. I don't want to just let them roam all night long. out in pasture. They probably could. I know they wouldn't, they'd like it, but I do fear about the predators end of things. So we do have 2 dogs, and I haven't seen any coyotes on our property because I think because we have the 2 dogs, it really helps deter that. But I'm still a little anxious about it. So yeah, that was fun. And another fun fact about the sheepies. So the little lambs have decided that when they're munching, they'll somehow manage to poop in their waterer. So that was fun. So they have an automatic waterer that Dan built, which is excellent. And it just autofills. However, if they poop in it, then it becomes dirty. Not the retained water, but the water like in the little waterer. So that's not good. I mean, I can clean it out and everything, that's fine, but it would definitely be an issue if we weren't home or something for 2 days. That wouldn't be good. So it's kind of a tricky thing we've got to still figure out how to deal with. It's like, just don't poop in the waterer, you know? Just don't do it. But yeah, other than that, the chickens and ducks are doing good. The ducks have decided they protest now when we put them away. The birds, chickens constantly put themselves away, but the ducks like to kind of just meander and hang out outside of the coop, near the coop, but not go in the coop. So that's still an ongoing process of getting them in there. But they protest, but they do go to bed eventually. So yeah, that's kind of it, I think, for the updates. I guess we are working on projects. Always working on projects around the house. We have wood to split, so that needs to get done before winter, which you have plenty of time for that. But we just kind of take that on slowly throughout the summer. And then we also have some fallen trees that we actually need to cut up and then split. And we are working on our front porch, our little front porch. The pillars that are decorative, they're not supportive. They're decorative, are rotting. So we are actually getting that all fixed. Dan is using his super handy skills. That man can pretty much figure out how to do anything. It's amazing. So he is getting that all figured out, and it looks really nice. The pillars he's been working on look really good. So I'm excited to see when they finally get all put up and that is all done. But just by trying to spend more time outside, not like we have to try, like kind of have to. Spending time with the animals, the garden. I've been a little behind on the garden. The vegetables are growing though, and we have oh my gosh, I am so excited. There are so many strawberries coming in. They're just little strawberries, you know, they're not gonna be massive, but really excited because last year our strawberries were pretty pitiful. I think we had like 3 strawberries because critters got to it. It was really sad. But this year there are tons of strawberries. And I did buy a strawberry plant and plant it. So I guess they say that you should at least, I don't know if it's every year, but you should put new plants in because they only produce so much or so often. So I did introduce a new one, so hopefully that'll continue the plants to keep producing. I don't know, we'll see how that goes. I'm learning. The asparagus is coming in strong. I cannot seem to harvest the asparagus fast enough. It's unreal. And then the same can be said for the rhubarb. I have so much rhubarb. It's unreal. I'm so grateful. I made some strawberry rhubarb jelly or jam, canned that, and I have a ton more rhubarb out there. It's unbelievable. So if anyone has any excellent rhubarb recipes, please do share them below, because as much as I love the rhubarb jam, which I totally do, strawberry rhubarb, I'd love to find other recipes I can make with it. So yes, please do share. But that's about it for me this week. I'd love to again hear from you guys, what you're up to, And yeah, that's it. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and I look forward to catching up with you soon. Bye.